Hello again everyone, it is me, Matsimus, thanks for joining me. So you're probably wondering, why am I doing another upload of this video? Some of you have probably seen a video on the TAPV before from my channel. Well, yes, that is true, and unfortunately, due to the nature of this vehicle being of the Canadian Armed Forces, I had to remove my previous one for the fact that it did have opinionated comments of military equipment from my own military service being in the background. I have to be careful as to what I produce as opinion to a vehicle. So some of you are going to be a little upset from that, and I understand that. But unfortunately, there are people out there that sometimes just don't like my content and like to make my life difficult. So I decided upon myself to just basically go over the vehicle's overview specifications and not really put too much of my opinion on it. Again, I know a lot of you are going to be quite upset with that, and I appreciate it, but unfortunately, it's just the nature of the beast when it comes to talking about equipment that I am not a subject matter expert on, and I really just want to get information from public sources and share it with you. So we're going to re-talk about this beautiful vehicle again, and here we go. So the Textron Tactical Armoured Patrol Vehicle, or the TAPV, is a 4x4 wheeled combat vehicle which is designed and currently being deployed by Textron Systems to meet multiple mission capabilities of the Canadian Armed Forces. The vehicle can be deployed in surveillance, general utility, cargo, reconnaissance, and armoured personnel transport, as well as command and control missions. It can be configured with interchangeable modules for different mission variants, including patrol, ambulance, convoy protection, and mortar carrier. The TAPV was awarded to Textron Systems in June 2012 for a $603 million contract to provide two different variants, 307 in a general utility configuration and 193 for a reconnaissance role. The vehicles will replace the Army's RG-31 Armoured Patrol Vehicle and the LAV-II variant, better known as the Coyote, and has served as the Royal Armoured Corps' reconnaissance vehicle. Textron was also awarded a $105 million contract for support of these vehicles. The origin of the TAPV requirement actually comes from the IED-infested roads of Afghanistan when Canada was deployed there. When the Army first deployed there, it was given a vehicle that was really underprotected, the G-Wagon, made by Mercedes, which was a light vehicle that only offered some small improvements to vehicles before it, and eventually, under an urgent operational requirement, was given a limited number of the RG-31 Mark III Alphas, an almost 10-ton mine-resistant armoured patrol vehicle. However, as the combat mission wound down, the Army began exploring options for a larger fleet to fill the role of the RG-31, and to replace the General Dynamics Land Systems LAV-II Coyote armoured reconnaissance vehicles, a well-regarded platform that was within its limits for being an add-on armour and weight package vehicle. What began as two separate projects, however, soon found common ground as the Army designers realised a single solution might actually solve both needs. The lessons of Afghanistan were clear though. Protection was paramount. The vehicle does have STANAG Level 4 protection from ballistics and blast perspectives. That additional weight, however, created a couple of problems, and several of the suspension and steering system components were having struggles when they first developed the vehicle. However, despite the bulkier systems, the increased weight really did not reduce mobility too much. The TAPV has 4-wheel drive, which is pretty self-explanatory, with a 2-foot ground clearance and a 365 horsepower Cummins engine, considerably more than the Coyote's 275 horsepower power pack. The TAPV is powered by a 6-cylinder Cummins QSL 365 turbo diesel engine, which develops a power output of a whopping 365 horsepower, which generates torque of 1,113 pounds-feet. The vehicle is equipped with an Allison MD 3560 6-speed automatic transmission and fully independent suspension with front, rear and upper lower control arms. The stronger engine, the higher belly profile, the larger tyres all allow it to maintain a fairly decent ground pressure and allow it to go places really that the Coyote really couldn't back in its day. When the Coyote was fully up-armoured, it couldn't even leave some of the major roads in Afghanistan due to the sand, and being muddy conditions, it just turned into clay and the vehicles did not like it. It really just hadn't been designed for the type of weight that it was asked for to be added on there. You add the stresses of the cross-country on top of that, and the chances of the vehicle that were breaking down were actually quite significant. In addition to the off-road capabilities, the TAPV also has a range of 650 km and can maintain a top speed of 110 km per hour on highways, making it very, very effective as being a reconnaissance vehicle overall. The Koenigsberg ProTech dual remote weapon system, a 40mm Heckler & Koch automatic grenade launcher, was placed onto this vehicle, along with the Colt C6 7.62mm GPMG machine gun, with a more protective than offensive measure, but still packs quite a bit of a punch. Like all combat vehicles, the TAPV will serve as a key node as an increasingly complex land network in terms of radio and communication. Still to be determined is whether or not the TAPV will actually include the space for claim of satellite on-the-move capability, or whether it will be actually added to the LAV-LRSS, which is an upgrade package to the LAVs. The vehicle offers very high superior safety and blast protection for occupants against all indirect and direct attack munitions, mines, and improvised explosive devices. It can be installed with an EODC latest ballistics protection technology package, along with the Advanced Modular Armored Protection, or AMAP, to offer enhanced survivability. The vehicle can be optionally equipped with an add-on armor protection module and individual overpressure nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons technology to allow it to basically go into an NBC environment and not all be gassed. The vehicle also features Rheinmetall's vehicle navigation system and the driver vision enhancement system, which is basically, if you need to drive without the windows there, you can actually looking through cameras or, 360-degree awareness with the RWS, so you can pretty much drive this vehicle without having to look through the windows, which are also extremely thick. So, I mean, if something's going to blast into those windows, it's going to stop the bullet, but the shattering of the glass is going to make it very difficult to actually see through there. But with this vehicle, doesn't matter, you can still drive around without having to worry about that. The vehicle is fitted with 3 large doors and 4 hatches to provide access. The reconnaissance version of the TAPV can be controlled by a crew of 4, including a driver, commander, gunner, and operator. The utility variant can accommodate a driver, gunner, commander, and up to 7 troops, which is quite a few people for a vehicle that's quite compacted like this. The TAPV is a heavier derivative of the combat-proven M1117 Guardian Armoured Security Vehicle used by the US Army. The vehicle has the iconic V-shaped hull with blast-absorbing belly armour and vented wheel wells. Blast protection was also improved by the increasing ground clearance. Crew and passengers have individual blast-protected seats, which is very important when it goes into an IED environment. The TAPV withstands 10 kilograms of explosive blasts anywhere under the hull. Blast protection of this particular armoured vehicle actually equals that to an MRAP. Hull protection is enhanced by its own composite armour packages, and it seems that the front arc can withstand 12.7mm armoured piercing rounds. It is claimed that the TAPV is 20% better protected than the previous M1117. This armoured vehicle, with its dual remote weapon control system, allows it to be very capable of watching long distance targets or even engaging long distance targets, with able to fire at long distances watching the arc of fire hit on target. Although not as effective as direct fire from an engagement like a 50 caliber or a GPMG, the 40mm grenade launcher can inherently turn into almost an artillery piece when firing in an indirect fire mode, launching from long range and observing through the very clear and very long range and precise optics that the vehicle possesses. At 3 meters tall, however, it is the tallest vehicle in the combat fleet, and with a gross weight of over 18 tons when fully armoured, it really does exceed the transport capabilities of the CC-130J Hercules or the CH-147F Chinook. Consequently, the TAPV is seen now as an army-wide solution for armoured artillery and other units using older variants of the LAV-II. Being that the vehicle is highly adaptive in its own modular design, it allows units to evolve over the coming years as they develop their own respective techniques, tactics, and procedures to benefit the utilization of this vehicle across a broad spectrum of different roles. This is one of the key features of which Textron actually focused when selling these vehicles worldwide, to try and produce an armoured vehicle that be able to be cross-compatible between reconnaissance, utility, delivering troops all over the place. Since the TAPV will replace the LAV-II's reconnaissance role, the Armoured Corps has been evaluating the best way to use this vehicle. The surveillance or observation post function, which includes an elevated 10-meter surveillance mast, will be filled by the Long Range Surveillance System or LRSS project, a program to deliver a full surveillance suite and new radar on the 66 of the upgraded LAV 6.0 chassis. The TAPV could be paired with the LRSS, in which the latter serves more stationary observation post role, while the former conducts a reconnaissance patrol and feeds back the information given. Textron and its subcontractors, which include Rheinmetall Canada for systems integration and Ottawa-based EODC or Engineering Office Densroth Canada for the armour, have developed training packages for the operators and technicians that are delivering the initial cadre training as the vehicles are introduced at each unit around the country. Ultimately, the vehicle has the extreme flexibility to carry out a wide variety of missions for both regular and reserve forces. So folks, that's it really for today. As I mentioned before, I can't really put too much of an opinion on this vehicle because I could get myself in a spot of trouble, and it's a little unfortunate. I understand again that people will be a little upset that I can't make my own you know, personal opinion on this. But unfortunately, some individuals out there really want to, you know, potentially make my life more difficult. So I decided to restart the video and just talk about its overall specifications. So, of course, I thought I'd put this little comment in there because really it does have a rather thick booty as it's going up and down. This is the original trials of the Textron variant of the vehicle, and it's rather interesting to see the back end go up like that. But I thought it was rather amusing just to end the video, at least have a little bit of fun with it. But again, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave me a comment if you did enjoy it. Once again, as always, I am not a subject matter expert. I just want to make that clear. Purely an informative video that showcases the vehicle specifications and features. If I did get anything wrong or you wish to provide some feedback, please leave me a comment. If you wish to support my channel, please go check out my Patreon page. I would really appreciate it, folks. YouTube has absolutely been destroying, you know, channels that involve military content or anything to do with weaponry. So any support that you wish to supply to the channel, it's much appreciated. And please let me know of anything that I can do to improve or better suit your entertainment needs for my channel. If you want to come have a chat with me or hang out, come hang out in the Discord channel, which is in the description box below. A lot of people hanging out there, talking, playing games, having debates, discussion, military equipment, all that good stuff. So it's always good fun to have, you know, my followers come by and have a chat. You know, especially with content like this, because I actually have a one-on-one. We can actually discuss it from a personal basis. You know, if you actually want me to give my opinion on the vehicle, we can maybe discuss by voice and actually, you know, discuss the vehicle from one-to-one instead of me sort of broadening my opinion across the video itself. We can actually sort of discuss specifics a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of you like to hear my opinion on things and like to know, you know, what the vehicles are about in terms of my own personal descriptive of it. I do know a couple of people who have been involved with this vehicle in my military career, and they know a lot about it. They're very happy with it, which is great. Good for them. I think that's a great news, you know. So yeah, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.